This Lorcana set is tanking in price. Let's open it up. Alright y'all, if you haven't been tracking the price point of Ursula's Return very much, honestly, I don't really blame you. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the Lorcana space right now and a lot of exciting stuff going on. We got Fabled coming out, we got Whispers in the Well coming out after that, Winterspell after that, some Toy Story set after that, and then obviously we have the excitement of more tournaments and DLCs on the horizon. So super exciting stuff, and Ursula's Return's kind of getting lost in the shadows, so what better way to honor that than by opening it up right now. So we're going to get into it. We have 14 packs of Ursula's Return, but we're going to open this up and also talk about some very interesting things that are going on as it pertains to Ursula's Return. And so the first thing I would say with Ursula's Return and why the set might be kind of hurting in price right now, and let's actually start by talking about like the actual numbers of Ursula's Return. So right now at time of this recording, rolling 3-month, it's down almost 15%, you know, not too bad. 1 year mark down over 20%. I mean, you do kind of understand that, as of course we do have when you talk about things like, you know, the fall of like opening like hype and FOMO, and then it starts to come down and things like that. But it's a little bit more than that, right? Obviously, this is going to be one of the 4 sets that will fall to the grasp of the rotation format. John Silver, that's a good start. And obviously it's not necessarily like, it doesn't have that mystique of the first chapter or even Rise of the Floodborn. So it's kind of a set that inevitably is going to get a little bit lost in the shadows, right? And you can't really blame it for that. But there are some interesting things that are happening with Ursula's Return that actually could be exciting to open it up as well. Now, one of the interesting things, and I think it was probably back last Monday, where I think someone let me know in the Discord, and again, if you have not joined the Discord, go join that. Link's down in the description. There's so much, like, not only is there good combo going on in there, but like there's good like up-to-dates that are happening in there as well. And this is how I actually found out about this, like, and it just kind of helps me like figure things out quicker, which is really cool because the peeps who are in that Cord, man, it's anybody from people who are just super plugged in on what's going on in the space, also to people who are just so excited to just be involved in the hobby. I don't know, it's just a wide array of great people in there. Super awesome there. Anyway, one of the OG, just like one of my just absolute OG Raya Discord members, who he's been up in there forever. He's just absolute friend of the channel, just great guy. He called out that there was a buyout that happened with Enchanted Ariel, and of course that is because you have Ariel Sonic Warrior that's getting reprinted in Fabled, right? So that card is going to be able to be used. However, the Enchanted is not going to be reprinted. I do think that there is an Ariel Enchanted that's going to be reprinted. I forget, it's the Ruby Ariel, but that wasn't, not the same as Sonic Warrior, but it's turning into an Enchanted. It gets a little confusing, and even I'm kind of confused in the time of this recording. I might be wrong about that. I think I've got that right. But anyway, there's the Ariel Sonic Warrior Enchanted, the one that is pullable in Ursula's Return. That obviously will not, they will not be reprinting that Enchanted, right? They'll reprint the Ursula's Return super rare version into Fable, but they will not reprint the Enchanted rare. That makes it, you know, that does increase the collectability of the card, right? I do think we'll also see something similar potentially happen with cards like Stitch Carefree Surfer. At time of this recording, it hasn't really popped too much. I do think that will change here once we start to kind of get the new set, like get Fabled kind of coming into the fold a little bit. I do expect to see a pop with Stitch Carefree Surfer at some point, but we're also seeing pops with other cards because of reprints and things like that. So it is interesting there, but also, you know, you do have it where it's like, look at, you're going to have certain cards, whether it be Inklands or Ursula's Return or whatever it be, where it's like there's just flat out going to be some cards that get left behind, at least for this first set with Fabled. Ooh, Triton, there's a nice little legendary there. We take ratios. We take those, right? What's behind Triton? Oh my god, something great's behind Triton. Let's go, man. Mulan. This is actually a good call out right here. Gosh, I hope. Okay, y'all. Let me just call out right now. So much is going on right now. With Lorcana in general. I'm doing my best to keep up with it. This is exactly why I'm talking about with the Discord, where I'm in there, I'm trying to read and trying to like stay up to date with y'all who are just killing it in there. I was literally about to call out that the other thing that's going on doesn't really matter for Ursula's return, but right here is a perfect time to call it out. There are cards that could change rarities, and I am almost positive it is this Mulan that is going from a legendary in Ursula's return to a super rare in Fabled. So it's changing rarity, okay? So that is also very interesting as well. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects prices of cards. Probably shouldn't matter for the overall Ursula's Return set in general, but it is interesting. It's something, not nothing. Anyway, beautiful Mulan legendary cold foil there, and you know what? Like we will respect the process. I do get asked a lot by by subscribers and just people in general, like asking me the question of like, what do you choose to sleeve and not sleeve, right? Because like there's times where like I'll pull like a $15 card and I won't sleeve it, and then there's times where I pull like this that's like, like it's not that, right? But I do sleeve it. Really anything that I'm looking to chase down and add to some sort of a collection like goal, I'll sleeve if I don't have it. So I think I've also been asked before, I'm going to keep opening packs. I think I've also been asked before, like, do you collect master sets and things like that? So the answer to that is like, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a huge master set guy. I am looking to collect every promo. That is the one master. It's not a set, but like, if I could have like one of each, like the promo is definitely, and I might never achieve that just because, there's just some that are just like, am I ever going to get certainly I'll never get DKP's, one of one card, but like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, there's that aspect of it. But for me, what I typically try to do is collect all the enchantments, of course, and then all of the legendaries in cold foil. And I'll probably do that through Fabled. And then when Fabled comes around, honestly, the legendaries will probably get sunsetted. Doesn't mean I won't hold on to the cold foil legendaries, but I will prioritize the epics. Like it's such an obvious, like, it's just so obvious. So I'll probably do that. But the pre-Fabled legendaries are going to be different, right? They're going to be counted as different, right? Because that epic rare is not there. So I still will, prioritize those. And so I don't think I have that Mulan. I will say it's been a minute since I've opened Ursula's Return. I don't think I have it though. I really don't. It's always one where it's like, it's in a binder, right? Like I'll go check. But yeah, I just don't recall as I flip, because I'll flip through, I flip through my stuff, weekly, and it's kind of like, I just don't think I have that one. So anyway, that's cool. Anyway, speaking of the Discord, I do want to shout out another conversation I was having. Forget where it was. I think it was in the Prince Philip. I think it was in the Market Watch channel or something. I don't know. So one of our recent subs and Discord members is just absolutely you can just tell like he's just loving the hobby, and it gets me excited. Like honestly, it's just like when people are excited about stuff that I'm excited about, that gives me extra juice. Anyway, he was, saying that he pulled a Queen Diviner, which you can pull in this set. I would be just fine pulling it. However, to be fair, if you do pull that card, you're pulling a $30 card, like $25, $30 card, which is, that's a tough scene, right? I mean, like, especially for something that it's like if you were opening a case of Ursula's Return and that's your enchanted, that's rough, right? And that's also why like they're doing the right thing with, at least I think, with Fabled, where they're bringing in the epics. They're upping the they're upping the rarity spectrum, like with the iconics. Like it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. But we were joking where it's like, hey, you know what? Like if it's a $20 card, right, or $30 card right now, hopefully one day we're looking back and we're like, hey, you know what? Hopefully we get to tell that story to people where it's like someone's like, oh man, like you're opening up, because this very well could happen one day. It's hard to have the perspective right now, but one day, like even Inklands, which I get it, it's printed into oblivion, like, but one day, like it'll be ripped into oblivion and there won't be a lot of it to go around, like Ursula's Return and all these others. And you're gonna be like, oh man, wow, you're opening Ursula's Return. That set ain't cheap, man. And you'll be like, yeah, like one time I pulled a Queen Diviner and it was, it was $20, $30, and someone would look at you like, huh? Like, just that. What's that meme? What's that GIF where the guy goes, Like it'd be like that. It'd be like that. And hopefully we get to share that moment together one day, because we were here from square one. We were here from the get. And so hopefully that will happen. But that is look, I mean, it is tough times right now for Ursula's Return. It just is. And there's other things going on with it as well. I've said this like multiple times. I don't really know how much of it tracks, but I will say it's when you look at the enchanted rarity and how it's evolved, perfect. I'm so happy that we're seeing our girl here. We will see her again in a few weeks when we open up Fabled. So I don't know how, ooh, Flynn, that's a good card. I don't know how much of this tracks, but when you think about the enchanted rarity and how much it's evolved, man, like, I think it started with Shimmering Skies. I won't lie, Azure at Sea was, I'm not gonna call it a miss. No set is a miss. Like, they're doing beautiful things. The artists are doing beautiful things with these cards. Azure at Sea was an interesting, it was an interesting risk. And I do believe one day it will pay off. But like, yeah, once again, I think with like Ursula's Return and Azure at Sea, I just think that those enchanteds are looked at as just like not quite up to par with sets like Shimmering Skies and Arcasia's Island and Reign of Jafar. Like, they are starting to, and what we're seeing with Fabled right now, like you see like Eye to Eye and Powerline, and like, I mean, you see some of these, what they're doing right now, and it's just like, man, like, I mean, they are taking that rarity to a whole new level. They're really respecting the rarity. Oh, there's Hades, there's our boy, look at him, he's looking good. They're respecting the rarity, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And with Ursula's Return, it made so much sense in the moment what they were trying to do with it, the battle, like with the big bad of the first saga, the first, with Ursula, herself. But yeah, they just, what are you gonna say? Like, they just don't pop. It's just that simple. They all kind of look similar. There's very little uniqueness to them because of the background. The backgrounds are all black. They're all dark, right? Like, so they don't have their own like spin to them, right? And so I do think some of that affects it as well. I don't know how much, but I do think that's part of it. But I do think that we will look back one day and be like, it's crazy, it was this light, Magic Room. So it will be interesting to see. The set's down right now, but not out. Your boy has a lot of sealed product with Ursula's Return. And you know what? Regardless, even if it just collects dust forever and ends up being worthless, we love it because it's our nostalgia that we're feeling, that we're feeling and that we're feeding, and that is a beautiful thing. But anyway, it's been a fun opening with Ursula's Return. We're down to the last pack of the opening, y'all. If you enjoyed opening up this set and singing the praises of a set that has been a little bit neglected over the last however many weeks, months, etc., let's show some love here. Let's show some love for the set. Leave a like on this video. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that is an option as well. It's out there. It's something it's something that is your choice, and we would love to have you along for the ride. But here we go. Let's see if we can pull a little bit of magic with this last pack of the opening. Here we go. We are into it right now. We are about to get into the rare. We have one of the Madrigal family members into Ariel, and the final card of the opening. And honestly, I feel like this is so anticlimactic. I feel like this might be the enchanted that's becoming the Fabled enchanted, the beautiful one with Ariel and Flounder. Anyway, I could be wrong. A lot going on. There's a lot going on. Let's hope there's an Ariel behind this Ariel. Ariel behind this Ariel. Final card of the opening. It is Pluto, but it has been a very fun trip down memory lane with Ursula's Return. Great stuff. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed today's content, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Go get in the Discord, links down in the description. Talk all things Fabled, show us your fire pulls, chop it up with us in there. And until next time, we're eternally grateful for you all, and we'll see y'all on the other side. Peace out.